What's going on YouTube? Kigerr here. In today's video, we're continuing that series that I started yesterday. We're going to be talking about fairies. We're going to talk about the differences between the global version and the Southeast Asia version. Let's jump into it. Alright guys, talking about fairies, the differences between global and Southeast Asia. As you'll see, we're looking at the Southeast Asia fairies right here because you'll see several different artworks than you're used to. Let's check out Chestnut, for example. She still is the base one that we know now on global, but you can get what's called an SP, which is like a skin for them, which is right there, the SP image. Doesn't really do a whole lot. There's two more major issues, really like 3 or 4 now that I'm thinking about it. One is that you can see this is a level 200 account and his Chestnut is level 166. That's not just Chestnut. You can see all these are in the 160 to 170 range. While over on global, it's not uncommon to see a 320s all over the place, and if you're a decent whale, you could have 1 or 2 400s. Over here, it's not really a thing, and that's because we're aware that you need gold and fairy experience to level up our fairies, but every couple of levels, it will also require this progress energy up here, which is Path of Fire Sword, Flower Fairy Shop, and Crystal Battlefield. You'll also notice that there's more Flower Fairy skills in the bottom right hand corner. There's 4, which if we look over at global, there are 2. They're the same skills, but on over here there are more. And what that is all fairies on the Southeast Asia version have a passive. So like this one right here, when the character activates fire attribute, which is another major difference, which I'll show you in a moment, flower fairies increase the masters, so your pierce, by its level 4, so 7%. So you get 7% pierce right now from this thing if you have the fire echo going, which is another big difference between global. Then you also have the SP skill. So if I go over here, we have click on it, we have the active skill, which this first active skill right here is really like a passive. While the fairy is around you, it does basic attacks that do some damage. And then you also have the actual skill that you click and then do what you do. Deals damage once hit. They are now Searing Blade, and you do 20% more damage to them. If we look over here, we have the same passive attack right there. The actual passive that we just talked about. Searing Blade right here, which is different. When the character has the Searing Blade effect, cause Earth Fire when dealing damage, AoE damage. Enemies damaged by Earth Fire receive % damage over 5 seconds and minus 20% protection rate. Then the actual ability, because the actual skills can be SP'd to be even higher. So there's a lot of complexity when it comes to the Southeast Asia version. So like this one right here is the same one as the one we saw over there, different numbers, but roughly the same ability that we saw on global. So one of the major differences is over here on Southeast Asia, you use progress energy, whereas on global you use uh, these progress materials down here that in all honesty are easier to get than the progress stuff over on Southeast Asia. So taking you back here, let me show you formation. So you can only get one echo on Southeast Asia versus 2 echoes on global. So if we take a look, you'll see the fire activated. Attribute of fire fairy joining combat are identical. When there's with holy, the strong course for them. So above are the stats that you're getting from all these fairies. As you'll see on the far right, each fairy has particular stats they come with. So Twin Lotus, attack, defense, crit. Anathria, HP, attack, and crush, which would be the closest alternative for global would be break. Chestnut, attack, block, pierce. Licorice, HP, attack, defense. These are much bigger stats that you're getting than over on global. So bigger fairies mean a lot more on Southeast Asia than it does on global, where global, the majority of what you're getting is special attributes right here. When you limit break them there, so when I get her to this last break right here, then she'll get this block down here, which is a majority of the extra stats that you're getting on global, which isn't a lot of numbers, especially when we look at what's going on over here. So let's see. The upgrade is the same. Upgrading your fairies are the same. The last thing to really talk about is residence, which is kind of an interesting thing. They have achievements like we do. We just got over on global, but this is like an extra part of achievements. So they also get these stats right here from hitting collection numbers, whereas both sides get that, but over here on Southeast Asia, where's it at? Residents. So like over here, own 6 mythical plus flower fairies, and then you get HP and attack. It's just an extra, hey, here's a milestone to get that gives you base stats. Southeast Asia does this a lot, where it's just numbers on top of numbers on top of numbers. So it makes testing a lot harder over there because you have so many things just passively. It's hard to see what one thing is doing on its own. So the last thing I'm going to say is down here you'll see mythical 4, mythical 3, mythical 3, mythical 222. That is the star numbers. So on, it's technically the same, whereas on global we just say the actual star number. Like this one right here is 6, 7, 8, 9, which is mythical plus 4, and then so on and so forth, as you'll see over to the right. Let me know in the comment section down below which way you prefer fairies. Global, that has the will system and the progress materials, or Southeast Asia, that just has a progress material, as well as the base stats for equipping, and more lean towards bigger fairies. To enter the giveaway down below, Fairy, F-A-I-R-Y. Till next time, guys.